For this half kneeling windmill or a Turkish windmill, I'm going to be on one knee and I'm going to be on the opposite side of the arm that's working. So my left arm is going to have the weight pressed overhead into a shoulder press. My right leg is going to be down. To start this, a key point I like to make is start with this hip rotated externally slightly. And you'll see why in a second. As I perform this portion of the Turkish get-up, I'm going to shoulder press the weight above. I'm going to sink this left hip back to the corner of the room, kind of at that little bit of an angle. You can see I'm starting to rotate my body around my hip and my shoulder, reaching towards the ground. I continue to have my gaze fixated on the dumbbell to ensure that my spine is kind of oriented in a more neutral position. And I'm going to use my core, my hips, my left obliques to power through to this top position again. Back to returning position, okay? So the point I made in the beginning about my hip is that if I don't rotate externally, if I keep this in neutral and I go to perform that kind of diagonal hinging pattern, you can see that's putting me into some flexion and internal rotation. Now, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it'll definitely feel more comfortable if you start in this rotated position. That way, as I sink back here, I'm gonna sink, and as you see, because I'm kind of going off at an angle, I'm in this more neutral flexed position of my hip. So I won't get as much maybe compression or pinching into that stabilizing joint. So I'm gonna start, press with a kettlebell or dumbbell, rotate externally slightly. Then from here, I'm gonna kick back at a 45-degree angle, start to rotate my head and trunk, reach straight down. So now I'm stacked over my shoulders. I'm not reaching away from my body this way. I'm stacked over my shoulders, and then I power up using my core muscles.